Hello, everybody, and welcome into another episode of the Fumble Sports Daily Show. So nice to have you in today. It is June 19th or Juneteenth. Hope you're having a wonderful holiday and obviously commemorating the holiday with respect to why we celebrate it or why we acknowledge it. 2.5 years after the Civil War ended, finally the final African-American slaves or former slaves were acknowledged as having their rights and their freedom, and that's why we celebrate today. Now, there aren't a lot of sporting events that commemorate the day. I'm actually kind of surprised that the WNBA, that Major League Baseball doesn't make more of this, but it is a bit of a stark schedule today, so we only have a few games to get to, but we, as always, will dive into every single one of them. Great to have you great for you to be with our show today. We are so excited to get into not just our picks from yesterday, but of course, what we're going to dive into today. Farika, so good to see you. Good morning. Jorge, great to see you this morning. Like I said, we'll dive into all of our picks from yesterday, review our results like we do every single day here at Fumble Sports, and then we'll do our research about today. However, I do want to start the show with a bit of a rant, because before we can get into the picks, we have a bit of news that came across the NBA yesterday. Bradley Beal has been traded from the Washington Wizards to the Phoenix Suns. Once again, Bradley Beal has been traded from the Washington Wizards to the Phoenix Suns in an attempt to build a super team down there in the desert. I think this is a disaster waiting to happen. I think this is a move by a new owner who's trying to make a splash in the offseason. He brought in what was a former All-Star, what was a big-time scorer, who's simply not at that kind of level now. And now he's pairing Bradley Beal with Kevin Durant and Devin Booker. Where is the defense going to be played? Who's facilitating the offense? If we learned anything from the NBA Finals that just concluded, the two best teams just played in the NBA Finals. And when I say team, I don't mean they had the best stars. I don't mean they had the flashiest overall brand names on the team. They played as a unit. The way the Miami Heat operate on offense, every single player is valued, knows their role, but there's very little overlap. Same goes for the Denver Nuggets. Jokic knows his role, Jamal Murray knows his role, and then there's a bunch of role players to fill in what those two stars aren't doing. Whether it's pick and roll, whether it's three-point shooting, how are the Phoenix Suns actually getting better from this move? I know it adds star power, I know it adds marketability, I know it's a big splash and the owner gets what he wants, which is the Phoenix Suns are the talk of the NBA right now. But overall, between the move to get Kevin Durant to Phoenix and now to get Bradley Beal to Phoenix, the Phoenix Suns have become a worse basketball team. They may have more stars. Great, you can have a constellation in the sky. I don't think you're going to win an NBA championship with what the Phoenix Suns have currently constructed. And keep in mind, the new CBA that the NBA has is going to limit the ability to add role players when you have these kinds of massive contracts already on the books. So the ability to go get a veteran on a league minimum, that's not going to be the same as it used to be. So while the Phoenix Suns have a lot of stars, they could be a great three-on-three team in the Olympics. I don't see them winning an NBA championship with the move they just made. On the other side, Chris Paul, where does he go from here? Feels like he's going to LA. Either with the Lakers or with the Clippers. It sounds like the Clippers are the heavy favorite right now. They want to make a trade with the Wizards to acquire Chris Paul, add him to Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, and what they're trying to build. And obviously, Chris Paul is a nice piece to add as they get ready to go to that new home in LA. That's a big part of this as well. Chris Paul is really beloved in Los Angeles by that Clipper Nation. To bring him back at the end of his career, whether he wins a title or not, that makes a lot of sense. So for Chris Paul, I actually think he lands on his feet in ways that the Phoenix Suns, I actually think they just kind of sealed their own fate. Do I think they're going to win a first-round series in the NBA playoffs next year? Sure. Do I see them making a Western Conference Finals? I don't. I just don't know. I don't know how this team ultimately comes together to be the best version of a basketball team that can win in today's NBA. We just saw how the Nuggets won. We saw why, by the way, we saw why the Miami Heat beat the Celtics. Too much team basketball by the Heat, overcoming star play of the Celtics. I think the same thing is going to happen with the Phoenix Suns. Mark my words, the Phoenix Suns will never win a championship with Bradley Beal, Kevin Durant, and Devin Booker all on the same roster. Welcome into the show, everyone. Love to hear your takes. Tito's full send. Bing bong. Great to see you in the chat. Love to hear your comments. Bradley Beal trade is wild. Yeah, And maybe the biggest surprise of all, the Wizards didn't get one first-round pick. By the way, I don't really see a winner in this. The Wizards just dump salary, just go into complete tank mode. By the way, in a year after Wembanyama, you tanked in the wrong year. You should have been tanking last year. And they don't get a first-round pick. Great, you get Landry Shamet, and you're going to trade Chris Paul to the Clippers. I really don't understand what either team gets out of this. Jorge, I agree with you. I think the Wizards did get fleeced. And at the same time, I think the Suns think they stole the trade, when in reality, they may be a weaker team, even though they have greater star power in scoring. Jorge, you're exactly right. No defense and a three-ball dominant player. Exactly right. Didn't we learn this in Brooklyn? Haven't we seen this in other places across the NBA? When you have three players who like having the ball in their hands. This isn't like the Golden State Warriors. I think a lot of people look at the Golden State Warriors as a blueprint for how you can build a super team. But in reality, first of all, they drafted that super team. And additionally, they know their roles. Steph Curry is the point guard. Klay Thompson is the shooting guard. Draymond Green is the man in the paint rebounding. They have a very Jordan, Pippen, Rodman-esque dynamic to them. When you put Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, and Bradley Beal all on the floor at the same time, who's the Michael Jordan? Who's the Scottie Pippen? Who's the Dennis Rodman? I think they all want to be, either they all want to be Michael Jordan at the same time, or they don't really live up to the roles that Pippen and Rodman had. They don't rebound well. They don't defend well. Kevin Durant can be a good defender, but that's when he's healthy. So I'm really concerned about this move for the Phoenix Suns. But that said, I feel like what they're just trying to do is make big moves with a new owner, and that's really what stands out to me about this more than anything. Jorge writes, we saw this in Brooklyn, although he didn't play a lot of games. We're seeing it, yeah, that's right. We're seeing it with the Mavs. Doncic, Kyrie, two ball-dominant guards. They can't play together because who's moving without the ball? Nobody. Tim Hardaway Jr. Anyways, welcome into the show, everyone. Great to see you. Dante, good morning. Happy Monday to you. Top Dog, I agree with you, Top Dog. No bench. Great players, but you lack the great role players that you need, that Denver just won with. Completely agree with you. Top Dog, where does Russell Westbrook go? That's a great question, because if Chris Paul does go to the Clippers, then they have the problem of, you've got Bones Highland, who you got in that trade with Denver. You don't want to give him up. He might have some talent. And Chris Paul and Russell Westbrook kind of fill the same void, which is older, once a star player who's going to probably take two more minutes than they deserve, probably will take two more shots than they deserve. I probably would rather have Chris Paul. I know Westbrook went on a run late in the season and showed that he still has some of that mojo, especially when it comes to rebounding and getting the ball up the floor. But Chris Paul is a facilitator and a leader in ways Russell Westbrook is not. But kind of interesting if one knocks out the other if Chris Paul does go to LA. Tito's full send, over 1.5 walks, parlays, bing to the bong. I'm telling you, Tito's full send, if you guys have been paying attention the last few days, our over walks allowed have been cash money. I believe they're going off at 85%. I just checked. 85% over the last 3 days. So keep your eye on those over walks allowed. We've been hitting really well on those. We'll definitely dive into those. Jorge, CP3 locker room presence. I think CP3, especially with Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, is a really good influence, where Russell Westbrook, eventually that won't play. Eventually Paul George or Kawhi Leonard is going to get tired of Russell Westbrook acting like it's a big three, because it's not. It's really a big two. By the way, Tito's full send. I'm totally with you. I really like Bones as well. Anyways, wanted to just open up the show with that rant about the trade for Bradley Beal going to the Phoenix Suns. As always, we put up our disclaimer. We are not a sports book here at Butt Fumble Sports, but we do love talking sports gambling, fantasy sports, and a lot of sports information. So we can get the most out of our sports viewing experience. So if you at home want to put some money down, or if you just want to know as much as possible to enjoy the games that are going to go on today, Butt Fumble Sports is here for you. And I say this, and I do not mean it. I do not lack in my meaning behind it. I want to make sure you guys hear it. Whether you're in the 99th percentile of sports knowledge or you're in the 1%, We're here for you. If you want to learn a term, whether it's gambling or fantasy or inside a certain sport, always feel like you can ask the question. We're here for every single level of sports fan. So if you want to learn more, be more knowledgeable, and have more fun watching sports, Butt Fumble Sports is the place for you. All right, that's my little disclaimer there. And as always, we look at our results from yesterday to see how we did. Now we'll go right down to the results before we go individually pick by pick. Overall, it was a really good day for us. Not on the MLB games. We went 8-9, had some disappointment there. But our MLB player prop bets, 19-6. What a day for our MLB player prop bets. So did really well on those. We cashed on 2 of 4 long ball long shots of the day. And we cashed on 2 of 7 stealing and sharing picks of the day. John Gray, yes, John Gray didn't work out for us yesterday. He really disappointed. Not only didn't get the strikeouts, but a poor performance. And that game just got out of hand. I did not expect the kind of offense in that game that we got. Same went for the Braves game. Those were 2 games that just, the scoring went in a direction we didn't see, and we were a bit too strong on that. But our celebrity shots, you guys had a good day. 9-6, everybody. So between our prop bets, our celebrity shots, and of course long ball long shots and stealing and sharing picks, we had a great day yesterday. Now, looking at kind of these individual picks, just to review, one thing I am very happy with, I said to really double down on the Rays and Padres under. Not only did we cash on the under 9.5, but obviously we cashed on all those on top. The final score was 9, felt really good about that. But missed on that Angels-Royals game. That was disappointing. That final score was 7. Felt like that was going to get a few more runs in there. Felt bad about that one. Rockies and Braves, like I mentioned. As for our overall player props, as I just alluded to, we were crushing on this. And again, I want to just point this out so you guys are aware of just how strong it's been. Louis Varland cashed. Lance Lynn cashed. Charlie Morton cashed. Tony Gonsolin cashed. Tyler Anderson missed. Those were all of our walk plays along with Patrick Corbin. Only one of them missed. That's how strong they've been playing. So guys, let's make sure we pay attention to who's on the bump today. Hopefully we can cash a few more on those walks allowed plays. Now, as we do every single day, we also look at our celebrity shots of the day. Dante, good job. Got your pick right on Patrick Corbin over on walks. Top Dog cashed on the Phillies. Jorge went 1 for 2. Tito's Full Send went 1 for 2. I hope that Rockies Braves wasn't too hard to hit, though. Tyler missed on his one play. Christopher, welcome to the show. Christopher came on strong going 2-0, so I hope Christopher shows up for the show today so I can shout him out. Alexander, you got on the board with the Dream yesterday. Good job, the Atlanta Dream. Make sure I have that right there. And I have got Candyman cashed on a parlay yesterday, a WNBA parlay, so well done, Candyman. We have our updated celebrity shot big board with all of our wins and loss records. And again, for all those that are new to the show, if you put in the comment section my celebrity pick or my celebrity shot, we will throw that up on the big board, and that way you can play along with us every single day sharing your pick. Okay, I hope you guys are ready for today's action. We're going to clear out our results from yesterday, and we're going to dive into all of our picks and research for today, Monday, June 19th. Make sure you throw your questions and comments in the chat. And if you want any of my picks, you guys know how to do it. Give us that live gift of confetti. Give us that live goal of confetti, and every time we hit 2,000 likes, we will give out a long ball long shot of the day. And additionally, Jorge knows how it goes. Every time you share the channel, we will also give out a player we like on a stolen base. There aren't too many baseball games today, not a lot of sports action going on. We'll try to give out as many picks as we possibly can. Let's dive into it. Jorge is asking about, first of all, Jorge just shared the channel, so immediately let me give out a pick on a player I like to get a stolen base. First player I like to get a stolen base today is Zach McKinstry. Zach McKinstry of the Detroit Tigers. Let's show you why I like him today. Zach McKinstry of the Tigers to get a stolen base. You can get his odds here at plus 375, everybody. But look at that implied probability. 21% implied probability. We talk about stolen bases and home runs. Every time that number is above 20%, that's a strong play. So Zach McKinstry, I can get it at plus 375, really strong. And additionally, as I mentioned a moment ago, or have failed to mention though, Jordan Lyles is on the bump. We'll talk a lot about Jordan Lyles today because he has been a flaming bag of poop on your porch this entire season. 0-11. That's right, you heard that right. He's 0-11 today. So we will get to a Tigers play later in the day. We'll talk about him on walks allowed. But he also gives up stolen bases. If you didn't think he sucked enough, he also gives up a lot of stolen bases. So Zach McKinstry, he doesn't have any stolen bases in his last 10 games, but he is one of the team leaders in stolen bases for the Detroit Tigers. I do like him today to get a swipe of a bag, so I'm going to throw that one up on our big board. Our first stolen base, stealing a sharing pick of the day is Zach McKinstry. Now, Jorge asked about Pablo Lopez strikeouts. Let's go look at that. Pablo Lopez, starting pitcher for the Minnesota Twins. And looking at his strikeouts. Line set at 6.5, doesn't have a strong implied probability. We'll look at it from the over side. Doesn't have a good trend to it. 2 times in the last 6 games, not a strong trend, not one that I'm leaning into too heavily. I know he's got a good strikeouts per 9 at 10.78, but not necessarily something I'm jumping on, especially because he's also facing the Red Sox. That's a good offense. Not going to jump on this one, especially because I feel like the 6.5 is a touch high. You're getting it at plus 136. That really feels high. If I took it anywhere over 5.5, that's the play. Don't take it at over 6.5. That's Vegas trying to trap you right there. This alternative line of Pablo Lopez over 5.5 at minus 152, that's the play. That's cashed in 4 of the last 5 games, 8 out of the last 10. If we look at this at home, 5 out of the last 6. Great trend. That I feel better about. I can see him getting to 6 strikeouts. Asking him to get 7, that actually is asking a little bit too much. So to your question, Jorge, I take it at the 5.5. I don't have enough conviction to put it up on my big board, but if I had to lean in one direction, I would lean yes on the over 5.5 alternative line. By the way, Jorge, you asked a moment ago, does Dame Lillard go to the Heat or does he stay? I think he's going to end up staying. I think the Miami Heat are going to pursue him, but I think he's made it known he's happy to stay in Portland, and I don't see why the Portland Trailblazers would want to move on from him. Right now, the NBA is set up so well where it feels like every franchise has a star player to attract a fan base, to make them a good TV viewing experience, no matter if it's on TNT or ESPN. I don't know why the Portland Trailblazers, much like the Wizards, if you were going to tank, you should have tanked last year. Wembanyama was worth taking for. There is nobody in this upcoming 2024 NBA draft who is on the level that Wembanyama is. So if you were going to tank, you should have done it last year. At this point, better to actually keep some players that keep the attendance higher. Otherwise, I feel like you're tanking for no reason this year. Top Dog has a celebrity shot. Let's get some celebrity shots on the big board. Once again, if you have a celebrity pick, a celebrity shot that you want up on the big board, make sure you just write in the comment section, my celebrity pick or my celebrity shot. Tito's full send. Ohtani and Trout both went over and hit homers yesterday. Bing bong is right. Bing bong is right. And by the way, Tito's, we've now already hit our over-under. We've hit the over on our bing bong count. So there you go, Tito's full send. Now, Top Dog's celebrity pick is going to be Brandon Williamson. Brandon Williamson over 1.5 walks allowed. Now, I do want to say for all of those who are watching the show, I love this Rockies-Reds game today. I've got it loaded up in my DFS lineup. I love it when it comes to player prop bets. However, there is a strong likelihood that that game gets rained out. So the weather, if the game is actually if they are able to play it, has a great weather pattern when it comes to home runs and overall runs. The likelihood of home runs in that game up 25%. That is crazy. Jump on that. Overall runs up 12%. Love that. However, if this game gets rained out, you're going to have to scramble with your DFS lineups to restock them. So make sure, everybody, that you're paying attention in that game to the weather, because I love what that game offers, but I'm also very aware that the weather could knock that one out. And remember, guys, I called that Saturday rain out of the Red Sox-Yankees game. So far as a weather prognosticator, I am 1-0. So the strongest bet to make is on me predicting rainouts right now. Anyways, let's get back to putting some picks up on the big board. I meant to put Top Dog right here. My bad, Top Dog. Oh, you were taking earned runs. My bad, Top Dog. Okay, so it was Brandon Williamson over 2.5 earned runs. I do love that play. Great call, Top Dog. Let's go show it. Let's go show it, and thank you for correcting me. Brandon Williamson, let's throw him up on the board. And let's see what the odds are giving us on earned runs. So interestingly enough, the implied probability here is even across the board on over and under. However, this is a strong trend. 4 out of the last 5 games. If we look at it at home, 2 out of the last 3. If we extend it out, hasn't had that many starts. I do like the over 2.5 earned runs. I will again warn you that, by the way, if you place the bet, you'll get your money back if it gets rained out, so no issue there. He does have good numbers against Colorado in one previous start this year. That doesn't scare me away, though. The fact that actually that the Rockies have faced him once before actually makes me feel a little bit more confident as opposed to a first-time start. Now, Colorado against Williamson lifetime, we showed this. Not a lot of numbers, unimpressive what we do have. However, against left-handed pitching this year, not too many great numbers either. So, yeah, Rockies aren't necessarily something that get me excited. The weather gets me excited about this one. I would lean towards the over in this one. I'm not going to put it up on my big board. A little bit hesitant about it. I can see runs being scored, but I'm not going to take Brandon Williamson. Top Dog, that's his celebrity pick. There you go. How is Jonathan India? Got a little banged up yesterday. Well, I like Jonathan India. I just want to make sure that he's playing today. We'll have to keep an eye on his status. Removed from Sunday's game. Was unable to finish it. He said after the game he was fine. So definitely want to make sure that he's in the lineup today, so keep your eye on him. I did like him a lot in my lineup today. Just keep your eye on him. They might want to sit him for the extra day. Frankly, it would be beneficial if the game did get rained out for Reds fans. Reds are the hottest team in baseball if no one's paying attention. They have an 8-game winning streak. They are on fire, everybody. And yes, Elly De La Cruz is a good play every single day. I do like Elly De La Cruz on a hit, on a stolen base. I don't like him on a home run. Lefty-lefty matchup doesn't work for me, but I will throw him out as a stolen base. Once again, you got to go with Elly De La Cruz every single day to get a stolen base at this point. It is just an automatic play. Don't even think about it. Run it until the well is dry. Stolen bases. You can get over stolen bases at plus 330. The implied probability is 23%. It's been a really strong trend over the last 10 games. 6 out of the last 10. For stolen bases, that's really strong. Definitely like him on a stolen base today. Now, as for a hit, I can get him at over half a hit. That I would take at the 71% implied probability. Again, that's a very chalky play at minus 250. So that would end up being a leg of a parlay for all of those who don't want to take that chalk. Elly De La Cruz, over half a hit. Now, I'm also curious what I can get over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. Because if I like him on a hit, I really like him to score a run as well. It's been a pretty good trend since he got up. I know it's not a great trend in the last 5 games, but I do like, this is just showing him up since the majors. He's been finding his way as a major league player. Elly De La Cruz, over 1.5 hits, plus runs, plus RBIs. Did you guys see his play yesterday where he beat out that ground ball to first? That may be one of the most remarkable plays I have ever seen in a baseball game. It was unbelievable. A hard hit ball down the right field line that was snagged by Jose Abreu, and it looks like a simple, Abreu's just going to get to the bag, he'll touch it. Eli De La Cruz comes out of nowhere. They said he covered 30 feet per second. Unbelievable speed this kid has. I'm just excited for Reds fans. You have finally got a baseball team that's worth watching every single day. Let's check out Jose Berrios. I know there are some celebrity picks up on YouTube. I'll get to those in 1 second. But doing some research here on Jose Berrios. On strikeouts. Over 53% implied probability. That does have the advantage, but isn't that the 55% I would like? As a trend, very strong. Really strong over the last 5. He's been pitching much better. And he's facing the Miami Marlins today. Definitely feel good about that. Now, these numbers are a bit deceiving over the course of the year because he's been better over the month of June. Really better over the last 30 days. Now, looking at Miami hitters against him lifetime, not high batting averages. Only one guy has good numbers, and that's just because he's 1 for 1. The strikeout numbers aren't too high, though. Wendell, 16.7%. Soler, 12.5%. That's a little bit concerning. I think that's why the implied probability is a touch lower than it probably should be, given the stretch he's been on. I like this one. I like it. I wouldn't take an alternative line here. This is one I will throw up on my big board. This is going to be Jose Berrios over 4.5 strikeouts. I do like that play. Now, that said, no numbers for the one hitter who has decent numbers, a 300 average, 3 for 10 is Luis Arraez. We've been avoiding him a little bit. He's been a bit cold over the last couple of days. Let's see if Luis Arraez is good for half a hit today. Can we get over half a hit with Luis Arraez? Nope, it's 1.5. Can we get half a single? Half a single at 68% implied probability. You could get it at minus 225. You could get it at minus 209 actually on FanDuel. So I am going to take that. Yes, he had that 3-game stretch against the Mariners where he went cold, but he's starting to pick it back up. When a guy is hitting around 400, I'm not going to let a 3-game slide deter me. If I see him come back just like he has, I'm going to ride it. He's got a 300 average against him. So I will also take Luis Arraez over half a single. And the only reason we're taking half a single here is because it is the best play. His 3 hits against Berrios are singles. This feels like the best play, given we can't get the over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. And the 1.5 bases, not a good implied probability either. The only other one you would consider is over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. That's going off at 63%. Do we like it enough? I actually don't. I actually prefer the over half a single than I do to the over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. It does offer better odds, so if you guys want to jump on that, certainly would encourage it. Not what I'm going to put on my big board, but certainly something you could take if you were looking for another way to jump on Luis Arraez today. Top dog, wasn't that a remarkable play from L.A. De La Cruz? Like, have you ever seen that kind of speed? I'm trying to think. Have I ever seen someone faster? Ricky Henderson, Ichiro Suzuki, Ken Griffey Jr. at his top speed. I mean, I think L.A. De La Cruz might be the fastest baseball player I've ever seen. I know there are stories about Mickey Mantle back in the 1950s, but to me, he is the fastest player I've ever seen. And by the way, we are getting a confetti storm right now. It is raining confetti. Everyone, we have just hit 9 confetti. Oh my goodness, we need a broom in here. Tuan On Nguyen, thank you so much for hooking us up with our live goal. Tuan On Nguyen, so much. I cannot believe all the confetti you just threw our way. We clearly have a lot of picks to drop on everybody. So everybody get ready and say thank you, because now every time we hit our live goal of confetti, we give out picks. We have just gotten nine gifts of confetti. What an unbelievable drop right there. So I have a bunch of picks to give out. Here we go, everybody. Oh, now we're up to our live goal. Thank you so much, Yoni. Appreciate it. By the way, I want to give a big shout out to my boy Yoni. I am doing this in his place. We are not in our usual recording studio. So if there's a bit of an echo, that is why, but a big shout out to Yoni. Yoni, thank you so much for letting me use your place to be able to broadcast. Everybody give a big shout out to Yoni. That is why we're able to broadcast for our usual 2 hours a day today. So thank you so much, Yoni, for hooking us up with the space to do our broadcast. I have a ton of picks to give out now, everybody, so pay attention. To those who have dropped their celebrity picks on YouTube, Dante, Top Dog, don't worry. I will get back to those in 1 second. But we have some picks to give out, everybody, so get ready. And I'm actually going to start with where we've been hitting so well. I wanted to start with our reverse engineering because these are plays that we have grown to love every single day. It is about walks allowed, everybody, and we are not playing around. We go to the implied probability, we do our research on every one, and we are about to drop walks allowed plays, everybody, so pay attention. Drew Smiley, 67% implied probability. Is this a strong trend? 4 out of the last 5. And by the way, against the Pirates, not only was he bad earlier this year, look at these numbers for the Pirates against him lifetime. Hayes crushes him. Joe hits him well. Hedges hits him well. Reynolds rakes against him. McCutcheon's numbers are actually better lifetime. He hasn't been as good since 2018, but lifetime he's good. But Carlos Santana has also raked against him. So Drew Smiley, he's been really good this year for the Cubs, but more so at Wrigley Field than on the road. Pirate hitters hit him well. I really like the Pirates today overall, but we'll touch on that a little bit later. I'm jumping all over Drew Smiley. You're getting it at minus 200. For those that are new to the show, maybe you put this into a 2 or 3 leg parlay with some of our other plays. But as I mentioned yesterday, treat it like a horse race. Don't do it just that 3 leg parlay. Maybe you want to box it. Maybe you want to kind of mix and match some different plays. We'll give out a bunch of walks allowed plays. Maybe you find 5 that you like and just mix and match them amongst 3 or 4 different bets. Because how consistently these have been, 2, 3, 4 of them could all cash. Let's go. Drew Smiley over 1.5 walks allowed. No brainer for me today. Drew Smiley over 1.5 walks allowed. That's our first pick that we just gave out. We've got more to go. Let's go to Josiah Gray. He has been giving up walks like crazy. Not quite a lawn, but pretty darn close. Really consistent. This didn't hit in his last start against the Astros. Doesn't bother me at all. Have no issue with that. Cardinals against him lifetime. Not great numbers. Donovan, Gorman. Other than that, a lot of red. Doesn't bother me at all because consistently throughout this year, he's been allowing 1.5 walks. I'm getting this at sub minus 200. You can put it on the board. Yes, sir. That's Josiah Gray. Over 1.5 walks allowed. No brainer for me today. Doubling down on this. I'll touch on it in a little bit because I actually think the Cardinals are going to score some runs on that. So hits allowed and runs allowed. I might be attacking Josiah Gray a little bit later, as well as Drew Smiley. But let's keep on walks allowed for the moment. James Paxton of the Red Sox. This is a small sample size. Not the same kind of trend. And the numbers that the Twins have against him, this is where I'm growing my confidence. Kepler, Gallo, Correa, decent numbers against him. Something to be mindful of is Kepler does have a home run against him. In case you're looking for a long ball, long shot today, not as much conviction behind this one, even though it has a high probability. But I do show it to you because it may be one you want to add, just not good for my big board. But Hunter Brown, yep, 3 straight games. He's been giving up walks. He's someone he's a big strikeout or walk guy. So with that said, I do like him to give up the walks today. And I'm going to throw him up on the big board. You're getting him at minus 170, everybody. That's Hunter Brown. Over 1.5 walks allowed. We'll do a couple more of these to say thank you for all that confetti that just dropped on our head. And then we'll throw out a few more of our hits, runs, walks, all those other things for offensive players. But I do want to keep riding this walks allowed. Austin Gomber. Now, again, you may say the trend over the last 5 isn't as attractive. What if I told you Austin Gomber was a steaming bag of poop? Look at his ERA this year, 7.29. Look at his whip, 1.69. And if you think that whip of 1.69 is bad, his whip against the Reds earlier this year, disgustingly bad. Now, let's look at how he's done against the Reds since 2018. Look at these numbers. Sensel, Maley, India, Newman, Steer, all good averages against him. I am all over the Reds today. Again, I just hope that the weather stays and cooperates. Austin Gomber, over 1.5 walks allowed. Going to give out one more of these, and then we'll move on to offensive players. Last one, Jordan Lyles. Talked about him earlier. Again, you may think the trend, because in the last 3 games it hasn't been as strong, but over the course of the year it really has been. If we look at it on the road, 3 out of the last 4. His whip, best thing about his stats, 1.29, but Jordan Lyles has just been awful this year. He has literally been arguably the worst pitcher in baseball this year. I'm going to fade him. Jordan Lyles over 1.5 walks allowed. So we just gave out 5 walks allowed plays for pitchers today, 5 of them, to say thank you for the confetti that you guys just dropped earlier in the show. We will also now give out 5 more picks, believe it or not. We're going to give out even more picks. Just crazy how many picks that Butt Fumble Sports drops every single day. But before we get to that, we actually have already hit 2,000 likes as well. So our first long ball long shot of the day, I'm going to go with Paul Goldschmidt. Paul Goldschmidt to hit a home run today. The matchup that he has is against Josiah Gray. We talked about his stats a moment ago. Let's throw him up on the board. Just want to show you what you can get on the odds for a Paul Goldschmidt home run. Plus 280 on the odds. And again, look at the implied probability, 26%, everybody. When that number is above 20, we like it. When it's above 25, we love it. Does have a couple home runs over the course of the last week. I like that, just to see him getting a few over the yard. Or out of the yard. Josiah Gray, you can see decent ERA. I'm not knocking him entirely. He's not an awful pitcher, but I do think he's going to give up a bomb today. Now, 1 for 5 lifetime for Goldschmidt. So not great numbers, but I do like Goldschmidt today. And I'm showing him at the plus 280 at over half a home run. Can I get him on over half a hit? No, it's 1.5. 1.5 on over half a hit. That's not a strong play. What about hits, runs, and RBIs? It's set at 2.5. Don't like that. What about on total bases? It's 1.5. That over is off at 55%. I will also throw that up on my board. And when I said he's been hot of late, you can see over the last 10 games, 6 out of the last 10 this is hit. That's why I like Goldschmidt. He's not only hitting the ball well, he has a couple home runs over the course of that span. So I am doubling down on Paul Goldschmidt today. I am taking him, Paul Goldschmidt, over 1.5 hits, plus runs, plus RBIs. I wish I could take this at bases. I wish I could take it at hits. This is the only one that is advantageous to us. And at the minus 110, I like it. Caesar, great to see you. Morning, folks. Hope you're having a great week, Caesar. And yes, we are off to a great start this week. For those that are just jumping into our show, how did we do yesterday? Well, 27-15, pretty good. Our MLB game picks weren't that hot, but our MLB player prop bets, 19-6, everybody. So that's why we're so excited about the picks we're giving out today. Feel good about the research we've been doing over the last few days, identifying some good plays, knowing where to take the right odds, and hopefully cashing tickets. And hopefully you're following us, because if you're tailing us, you've been cashing with us. Okay, we have a few more picks to give out. Then we'll get to some of your celebrity shots and get those up on the big board. But I did want to put out a few more picks. Elias Diaz, I am going to take him on a home run as well. I'm going to throw him up on the big board. 19% implied probability on this. Not quite as strong a play, but still love it. Brandon Williamson, he's only had 1 at-bat against him, but I do like Elias Diaz today. He hits left-handed pitching very well. So, throwing him up on the board as well as a long ball long shot of the day, a little bit ahead of time. No, we haven't hit 4,000 likes yet, but giving that one out. And looking at, can we get half a hit? Oh, what a dream play. Over half a hit. Again, he missed the last 2 days. I'm okay with it. That's against good Braves pitching. I'm going to take him on over half a hit today. You're getting it at minus 239 To some of you, that may not be attractive, but again, I say put it into a 2-3 leg parlay. It'll bring those odds more into your favor. But I do throw Elias Diaz over half a hit. That's an attractive play to me. Just got to be careful about that weather. Caesar, that link should be fixed now, so give it a try, Caesar. Let us know if it's working. You can be our guinea pig for it. Okay, next pick I want to give out, because we're just doing work here at Butt Fumble Sports. Can't believe we're already 40 minutes into our show. It's amazing how quickly things go. I am going to give out another pick right now, and this one is actually going to be about someone to get some strikeouts, and I'm not talking about a pitcher. Is he up on the board? No, he's not. Okay, not seeing that. Is that on the board yet? No, it's not. Okay. Not seeing his name come up yet. Anyways, we are going to look at Tommy Edman. Tommy Edman. And I'm looking, can I get him on over half a hit? Yes, 68% implied probability, everybody. He has good numbers lifetime against Max Scherzer. Lifetime, 375 average, 16 at-bats, 6 hits, a home run, a double, 2 RBIs, a walk, 5 strikeouts. Over half a hit. Yes, it's been a good play over the last 5 games, but for me, this is really about, I got the wrong one here. Tommy Edman is facing Josiah Gray. I am screwing up right here. His stats against Josiah Gray. My bad. Forgive me. I don't know why I posted that Max Scherzer right there. His numbers against, he's 0 for 2. Okay. Oh, I know I was taking this because I like him on a stolen base. That's why. I liked him on a stolen base. That's why I was taking over half a hit. Forgive the Scherzer comment. That was wrong. But the reason we like this play is because I like him on a stolen base today. Josiah Gray gives up a lot of stolen bases. He's actually one of the worst right-handed pitchers at holding runners on base. Tommy Edman leads the Nationals in stolen bases, leads the Cardinals in stolen bases against right-handed pitching. So Tommy Edman, throwing him up on the board as a stealing a sharing pick of the day. I'll also take him on over half a hit. Over half a hit on Tommy Edman. Getting that at minus 210. Minus 210, everybody. Now, we've got a celebrity shot we need to get up on the big board. That was from Dante. Reds are red hot. Took them on the money line. Good call, Dante. Dante, was that your celebrity shot of the day? Oh, there's your celebrity shot. Jordan Lyles over 1.5 walks. Yep. So Dante, whether you were tailing us or you had this on your own, love the call, Dante. Dante is also taking Jordan Lyles over 1.5 walks allowed. We'll get to Jordan Lyles again in just a second because that dude is too bad not to beat on. And a bold jump for Chas McCormick over 1.5 strikeouts. Let's look at that. Let's look at Chas McCormick, 1.5 strikeouts. Let's see what his strikeouts is going off at. 1.5. You like the over. Very interesting. Very interesting. Not saying I would recommend it, but Dante, are you saying you want that on your big board? It looks like you do. Let us know if you don't mean that, but it looks like you do. Chaz. By the way, who names their son Chaz? Chas McCormick. Don't mean to be knocking mothers who name their son Chaz, but seriously, Chaz? Chaz McCormick over 1.5 strikeouts. For Chaz. By the way, in case you guys are curious, Top Dog is 13-7 with his celebrity shot picks. Really strong. Good job, Top Dog. Dante, 8-9. So they are the records right there. Again, if you want any of our picks, you know how to do it. Jeremy Todd, 66. Flaherty, under 4.5 strikeouts is your celebrity shot pick. So let's get Jeremy Todd, 66 up on the board. Jeremy Todd, 66, is taking, once again, Macy, that is the right confetti. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for supporting the show. You nailed it. We have more picks to get out. You're crushing it. Jack Flaherty, under 4.5 strikeouts. Jack Flaherty, under 4.5 strikeouts. So that's what Jeremy Todd is going with. Jorge had a question. John Birdie over half a base. Let's look at that one really quick. Birdie over half a hit. Is it over half a base or over? It's over half a base is what you're saying. That's a really nice play. That's a really good play. 4 games in a row against Berrios lifetime. He is 0 for 1, but I really like the trend, and I like that you're taking it on the base because, again, there are a lot of sports books that don't do this, but there are a few that do. If you take the over half a base, if he gets hit by a pitch, a walk, it's a good play. So I would throw this one up on my big board as well. I'm going to tail you on this one. I will throw John Birdie over half a base. I will throw that one up there. Good implied probability, not bad odds at minus 208. Again, if you're making it a 2-3 leg parlay with some other plays. Let's see if there are some good hits plays. Can we get a half a hit? That's what we want, just a good half a hit play. Manny Machado over half a hit. Really consistent, 8 out of the last 10, throwing him up on the big board. Manny Machado over half a hit. Manny Machado over half a hit. And much like strikeout guys, I want to give out some that are going to be good to pair with some parlays. How has Manny Machado done against the Giants head-to-head? Look at how consistent this has been. Yes, it missed in his last game, but very consistent head-to-head against the San Francisco Giants prior to that last game. So really strong trend against the opponent, really strong trend over the last 10 games as well. Now, Spencer Torkelson. Not only is this a strong trend, but as we continue to mention at every possible turn, Jordan Lyles is what we call a flaming bag of poop on your porch. If you see him, you know what to do. Stomp it out, okay, everybody? But don't use your good shoes. So Spencer Torkelson, over half a hit. Yes, it's minus 269. Not even sweating it, just adding it to another parlay. Spencer Torkelson, over half a hit. Over half a hit. Now, Miguel Cabrera has great numbers against against Jordan Lyles as well. I'm not as crazy about taking him. He's actually got pretty good trend numbers going as well. You may want to consider it. I'm just not as high on Miguel Cabrera these days. I just can't trust him. Like, I know that the trend says I should, but I'm not willing to actually put my confidence level behind him. I'm just sharing that with you guys so you can see he does have good numbers lifetime against Jordan Lyles. So if you wanted to take it, wouldn't discourage you from doing it. If some of you want to make it your celebrity shot of the day, wouldn't discourage it. Just not one I'm going to put on my big board right now. By the way, just want to give a big shout out to all of those who have been supporting the show today. Macy Taru, thank you so much. Tuan An Nguyen, thank you so much. I hope I'm saying names right. If I'm not, forgive me. Yoni, also known as YW21, you're the man. Appreciate your support on this show and more. Jorge, Tito's Full Send. Love having you guys as part of the show. DK1980. Who do I like for the LSU Wake Forest game? I like Wake Forest. I do like Wake Forest for that game. DK1980. I do like Wake Forest for that game. Yes, it is going to be chalky if you take Wake Forest, but they're the best team in college baseball. You got to bet on them, even against a good LSU team. Now, I don't have trends on that one up here, but I was actually researching that game, funny enough, last night, because I did want to keep my eye on that college baseball game. I think it could be one of the best college baseball games we see of the entire College World Series. Tito's Full Send, are you ignoring Lance Lynn with 12 strikeouts last night? I'm not ignoring him. Lance Lynn dominated last night, and I actually was really impressed by the performance because he was using different pitches. He was using inside, outside parts of the plate. I thought it was the best performance we've seen from Lance Lynn in a long time. The joke is he lost. Lance Lynn goes down in history as one of, I believe it's something like 7, 8 pitchers all time who have at least 16 strikeouts in a game and lose. On that list includes Pedro Martinez, Randy Johnson, Nolan Ryan. It is unbelievable the names on that list. But Lance Lynn goes down in history as having one of the best performances a pitcher has had this year and yet amounted to an out. Tito's Full Send. Hello, bing bong, bing bong. Jorge, what's your celebrity shot? Let us know. Let us know. Oh, you're taking John Birdie on the over half a hit as well. Great. Let's get Jorge up on the board. Jorge Valena up on our big board. And for those who are curious, how is Jorge doing? 15-7, everybody. 15-7. And by the way, can I just point out an interesting trend? Top Dog, one of our most loyal viewers on the show. Jorge, one of our most loyal viewers on the show. LRK425, a very loyal viewer. What do these guys have in common? Man, seems like their win-loss record. Tito's full send. Feels like the people who watch our show consistently, they're doing pretty well on their bets. Might be something to that. Maybe they're learning a thing or two. Love what I'm seeing every day from those who are putting their bets up on our big board, especially those loyal viewers. That was John Birdie over half a base. That's what we liked about that. Not over half a hit, over half a base. Top Dog, is it safe to say the Astros on the money line? It's safe to say it. Let's see if it's safe to bet it. Astros against the New York Mets. And keep in mind, they are facing Max Scherzer today. Now, if there's any team that's worth fading right now, it's the New York Mets. The New York Mets are just a disaster. But you still have to believe that Max Scherzer is supposed to be the stopper. He is the guy that's supposed to deliver a winning performance when they've been struggling. Now, the Mets again lost yesterday. Disappointing loss against the Cardinals. 3 out of their last 10 games, they've won 3 out of their last 10. Just awful. Just awful. And Max Scherzer, a 4.45 ERA, that isn't the Max Scherzer we know. However, on the other side, Hunter Brown, I'm not as confident as him as others would think. And also, the Astros aren't playing great ball either. They just ran into the buzzsaw that is the Cincinnati Reds. They didn't play great baseball against the Nationals. So just be mindful of the fact that the Astros aren't the kind of juggernaut that we expected them to be. So this is really two underperforming teams playing against one another. So let's look at how the Mets have done against right-handed pitching this year. McNeil, 281. That's the high water mark. That's a terrible sign. Terrible sign for the New York Mets and just how bad their offense has been. Lifetime against Scherzer. Kyle Tucker, the only player with a hit for these Astros. Not crazy about what I'm seeing. Nothing really supporting me today, getting me excited about this game. Let's go to covers.com, see if we can find some good trends there. So Scherzer against Hunter Brown. I want to make sure you guys can see these trends. Head-to-head, anything? The Mets, oh my goodness. Mets 0-7 in their last 7 meetings. 0-8 in their last 8 meetings against the Astros in Houston. Wow, that is a trend that really stands out. So you're saying when the Mets go down to Houston, the only thing, though, about that trend that you should be mindful of is when the Mets were going down to Houston when this trend was occurring, Max Scherzer was Justin Verlander was on the Astros. Maybe Garrett Cole was as well. Maybe Zach Greinke. The starting pitching of the Astros isn't nearly as good now in the series that the Mets are about to have. However, is there anything else we can find? The Mets are just struggling. 1-4 in their last 5 interleague games. 1-4 in their last first games of a series. 2-8 following a loss. Man, if there is a team to fade right now, like I said, it might just be the Mets. Don't feel a lot of confidence in the Astros, but I would lean towards them. I'm not going to put it up on my big board, but to answer Top Dog's original question, if I had to go in any direction, I think even with Max Scherzer on the bump, I think I would still take the Houston Astros on the money line. Okay, Christopher. First of all, big shout out to Christopher. Great to see you in the show once again. Christopher went 2-0 to start his celebrity big board, his celebrity shot record, his day today. Let's see if we can bump it up to 3-0. Christopher, great job and welcome to the show. So great to have loyal viewers come in every single day to share their picks. Let us get Christopher up on the big board. And Christopher is taking Jorge Soler over, and what was it? It was Jorge Soler over half a hit. By the way, IP Shade 45, we are having an early show today. So for those on the West Coast like IP Shade 45, really appreciate the support. We are having an earlier day today. I have some afternoon plans, so I had to try and squeeze in our show while still accommodating my afternoon plans. So Jorge Soler over half. What was that? Over half a hit? Yes, it was. Over half a hit. Let's look at that one, everybody. Let's look at it. And we have hit 4,000 likes. You guys are awesome. I will give out a long ball long shot of the day. Just want to do our research here on Jorge Soler. Over half a hit. And immediately, strongest implied probability, 100% over the last 5, really consistent. This is a great call. I'm going to tail this one as well. Has been a really good play. Christopher, you got me tailing you. You start 2-0, I'll follow. And this is Jorge Soler over half a hit. Over half a hit. There's another play, everybody. Dante, stay away from the Astros. Interesting. Dante is saying don't take the Astros. Dante, does that mean that you like the Mets? Here's what my question is. Can I get the Astros to cover? Are the Astros the underdog or are they the favorite? No, too bad. Too bad. Okay, this is what I would like. I would take the Mets to cover here. I'm not going to put the Astros on the money line on my big board. Funny enough, I would actually take the Mets to cover. The Mets, they've been losing a lot of one-run games. So either they're winning or they're losing by 1 run. It's been a good trend over the last 6. Max Scherzer, this is where I feel confident. Do I feel like the Mets are going to be blown out in this game? No. So funny enough, I actually lean towards the Astros on the money line. I'm not putting that on my big board. But what am I putting on my big board? Mets plus 1.5. Plus 1.5 on the Mets. By the way, can I get it at 2.5? Can I be greedy? Plus 2.5? Minus 350. Okay, not so much. Not so much, everybody. Okay, I actually have some more picks to give out because there was a lot of confetti dropped a little bit earlier, and I actually have not given out all of the picks that you guys have been waiting for. So I have more picks to give out. Here we go, everybody. First one, Blue Jays on the money line. Blue Jays on the money line. Like I mentioned earlier, Jose Barrios over his last 30 days has been outstanding. 4-0 record, a 1.11 ERA, and opponents have just a 183 batting average against him. So I love the Blue Jays today. Additionally, the Blue Jays are 4-1 in their last 5 games against the Marlins in Miami. And though you may think this is an odd one, this is actually a really good trend to follow. The Marlins are 1-4 in their last 5 Monday games. That actually stands out to me because Monday games usually is either coming off a series and you don't get that day off, or it's the 4th day of a series. Kind of speaks to how a team's mindset is week in, week out. So I do like the Blue Jays on the money line. Here's another pick I'm going to give out. Not sure we're going to get this game in. Not sure this game's going to get in because of the weather. But if it is, you have to take Reds and Rockies and jump on that over 9.5. Over 9.5. By the way, Dante, appreciate you. I like that Dante was fading my Astros call, but loves my Mets call. Dante, appreciate you being in the comment section. Love it. And by the way, for all those watching on YouTube, make sure you hit the like button on our video. Goes a long way in supporting the show. Really appreciate that. Rockies Reds over 9.5. That is an alternative line, everybody. That is an alternative line. So keep your eye. The over 10, don't like that because the push. I want the hook in my favor. Over 9.5, I can get it at minus 135. By the way, I'm doubling down on this one. Just like I did yesterday with the Padres game, I doubled down on this one. I would take over 8.5 as well. You're getting it at minus 200. So if I like the over 9.5, I like the over 8.5. And because it's at minus 200, I still would do that. Just sprinkle it into a parlay as a leg of a parlay. So I like both of those. Keep in mind what the weather is in that game. As long as it gets played, if the rain doesn't knock it out, home runs are way up. Runs are way up. Definitely like this one. Definitely like it. By the way, you also see the Cardinals and the Nationals there. Not as crazy about the over on this game. Let's look at it really quick. The over-under in that Cardinals-Nationals game is 9.5. I didn't like the 9.5 because it hadn't been a really good trend with the two teams. You can see 50-50 over the last 10 for the Cards, 5-5. For the Nationals, they've only hit this over twice. They're just not scoring enough runs. So that's the reason why I'm not taking it. In case you guys went to this website that we use every day, ballparkpal.com, and you were like, hey, Butt Fumble Sports, if you like the Reds-Rockies game so much, at that run probability. Do you also like the Cardinals Nationals? The answer is no, I don't. I don't like that overplay nearly as much. IP Shade 45. IP Shade 45. You were asking about Brandon Williamson. Let's go look at Brandon Williamson walks allowed. We've already dropped a bunch of those walks allowed, but Brandon Williamson was not on that list. Do we like his walks allowed? 56% implied probability. Very strong. Good across the last few games. So the answer is yes, I do. The answer is yes, I do. Good call by IP Shade 45. Considering their stats, shot you didn't put the Pirates batters in your DFS lineup. By the way, the reason for that, actually, just to step out, we'll put Brandon Williamson up on our big board in just a second. The reason for that is I'm actually kind of waiting. I like the Reds-Rockies game more, but if you notice, they're both starting at 7 o'clock, so IP Shade 45 brings up a great point. In my DFS lineup, which you can find on our website at buttfumblesports.com, you go to our website, you can see our DFS lineup every single day. IP Shade brings up a great point. Pirate hitters have great stats against Drew Smyly. I didn't put them in my DFS lineup. I'm actually kind of holding them as my reserve team, my guys standing by. In case the Reds-Rockies game gets rained out, I'm going to swap them in, the Pirates hitters, but I actually like the overall offensive numbers in this Reds-Rockies game more because of the weather. If you look at the Pirates game, it's just not as appealing on home runs, not as appealing on runs overall. So that was the reason why IP Shade 45 is I'm actually banking on the weather. And if the game gets rained out, I have a good substitute standing by. But the substitute is a bit less appealing to me. So that's the reason why. By the way, I wanted to throw Brandon Williamson up here on the big board as well. Brandon Williamson. We're going to take him on over 1.5 walks. Brandon Williamson. Over 1.5 walks allowed. Everybody, we have hit the top of the hour, so I want to give a big shout out to all of those who are watching across all of our platforms. Kick, Twitch, YouTube, and of course on TikTok Live. Big shout out to all of our viewers. Dante, Zoidstein, Top Dog, Caesar, Ryan, Jeff, Mark, Haley, Yoni, Farika. Great to see you, Farika. And of course on TikTok Live, Jorge, IP Shade 45, Boss Lady Murr. Want to get to Boss Lady Murr's question. Love seeing Boss Lady Murr in that comment section. Hope you all are having a wonderful Monday. Happy Juneteenth to all of you. Hope you guys are celebrating the holiday and understanding why it is so important that we have this holiday. I actually think it's one of the best things the country has done over the last few years. Boss Lady Murr is asking about over 1.5 bases for Luis Garcia. 1.5, so I'm just starting with hits, runs, and RBIs. Notice they've set this at 2.5. That tells you a lot right there. So if we go to total bases, the over isn't that strong a play as well. How about on hits? It's 1.5. I'm not seeing any good plays here on this. Can we get half a single? We can. It's been a really good play. This is why I know, Boss Lady Murr, why you liked it. I love that you're thinking this way, Boss Lady Murr, but it's just not as attractive to me. I know the trend is there. Does he have good numbers against? No, he doesn't have any numbers against Jack Flaherty. I'm not going to touch this one because I'd have to take over half a single. I'm not as attracted to it. So Boss Lady Murr, I'm not really discouraging it, but I'm not going to put it up on my big board. Bing bong, Tito's full send. Let's go 2 for 2 today. Tito's full send has another celebrity shot to throw up on the big board. Tito's full send. Let's get you up on the big board. Tito's full send. And again, for all those who are curious, how is Tito's doing? 8-5, everybody. Let's see if we can get to 9-5 with this play. Tito's full send is taking the Red Sox. He is taking the Red Sox on the first 5 run line. First 5 run line. And are you getting that at plus or minus 1.5? Or plus half a run? Looks like you're getting them as the underdog in that. I do like that. That's an interesting play. Red Sox is the underdog. Half a run. Love that play, actually, from Tito's full send. Are there any props on J.D. Davis since he is 3 for 3 against the starter? IP Shade, great job doing your research every day. Before we do that, though, Stephen Pock, let's get your celebrity shot up on the big board. Stephen Pock. And Stephen's celebrity shot is Jake Berger to hit a home run. Jake Berger over half a home run. Let's go. Stephen Pock bringing a long ball, long shot of the day. By the way, I owe you guys a long ball, long shot of the day. Let's get another one up on the big board. Another long ball, long shot of the day. I have more picks to give out, by the way. I owe you guys some picks. Next one I'm going to give out, Brian Reynolds. Brian Reynolds, IP Shade 45, alluded to it just a moment ago. Against Drew Smiley, Brian Reynolds has some great stats. I'm taking him on a long ball, long shot of the day, but that's not the only one I'm going to take. Home run, 15% implied probability, 560 on the bet, but again, really good numbers against the pitcher. I'll show you when we take it at hits, runs, RBIs, 1.5, great implied probability, not a great trend, maybe over the last 5. But lifetime, a 381 average with 2 home runs, and in a 21 at-bats, that's a great sample size. That's a great bet right here. I will also take the over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs for Brian Reynolds. Okay. J.D. Davis. Let's get back to J.D. Davis. J.D. Davis. And we are looking at him on bases, hits, anything. We're just looking for anything, right? IP Shade 45. Over half a hit's the play. Over half a hit. 4 out of the last 5. And against Michael Walker, as IP Shade 45 alluded to it, 3 for 3 with a home run. No, I'm not expecting the home run today. I'm not going to put him as a long ball, long shot of the day. But I love that play. IP Shade 45 also mentioning doubles are going to be up in that game. Yes, he's right. IP Shade 45, I freaking love you. You're bringing the research. You're doing the work. You're going to the websites that we encourage you guys to look at. Great job. Yes, hits are going to be up. Extra bases are going to be up in that Padres-Giants game. Let's throw this one up on the board as well. That's J.D. Davis over half a hit. Yes, it's a minus 230 play. Sprinkle it in as a leg of a parlay. That's J.D. Davis over half a hit. IP Shade 45, bravo. Great job, great question, good research. Okay, Tito's Full Send had another celebrity shot that I missed a moment ago. Also taking the Nationals. You were taking the Nationals plus 1.5. Nationals plus 1.5. I'm not on that play, but curious that you like it. So those are Tito's Full Sends picks of the day. Appreciate all those who are watching, no matter the platform. If you want your celebrity pickup on the board, let us know. By the way, Dante on YouTube is saying if anyone is living in Texas, I use Fliff. F-L-I-F-F. You can bet on teams. You don't get your wage back. Okay, that's interesting. It's a lot like Prize Picks. Interesting. So Dante giving out some good information for all those watching in Texas. The stars at night shine big and bright. Okay, you guys can do the rest. Appreciate all those who are with us. Jorge is asking about George Springer over half a hit. Jorge is giving us some breaking news. Jorge, what's our breaking news? Throw it in the chat. What's our breaking news? As we look up George Springer. Waiting on some breaking news from Jorge. Draymond Green declined his $27 million option. Okay, so a couple things here. Before we get to George Springer and why we like this play, really quickly just talking about Draymond Green. Draymond Green has opted out of his player option. He is not going to pick up that player option, and he is a free agent. Do I think this means he will not return to the Warriors? No, I think the team that is most likely to sign him is still the Golden State Warriors. However, if you are a Los Angeles Lakers fan, yes, this is good news for you as well. Draymond Green would fit really well with the Lakers. Yes, it isn't something that necessarily comes together easily by salary cap and everything else. They'd have to be some massaging. But to me, the two most likely destinations are the Golden State Warriors, and I do think that's where he'll end up. I have probably a 65, 70% on him going to the Warriors. But if he doesn't go to the Warriors, the Los Angeles Lakers, keep your eye on that one. Draymond Green, I think he's going to enjoy his time as a free agent. I think he does want to be wooed a little bit. Ultimately, I think he understands the legacy that he has with the Warriors and the chance that that team has to win a title next year. Because I do think the Warriors window is still open, at least for one more season. So I think Draymond Green will return. But Jorge dropped some of this breaking news as Draymond Green has opted out of his deal, declined his $27 million player option. And by the way, isn't it nice when you can decline a $27 million option? Must be nice. Must be nice. Okay, back to George Springer for a second. Love the play. 71% implied probability. Really good trend over the last 10 games. No stats against this starting pitcher. Against right-handed pitchers this year. Springer's hitting .273. But really, just like the trend over the last 10 games, I'll throw this one up on my big board as well. That's George Springer over half a hit, everybody. Over half a hit. Now, IP Shade 45 has a celebrity shot. Yeah, unrestricted free agent. Unrestricted free agent. Yep, that's right. IP Shade 45's got a celebrity shot to throw up on the big board. Let's check out IP Shade 45's celebrity pick. You are taking, wow, interesting call here. 1 for 17 lifetime against the pitcher he's facing today. That's Christian Yelich, under 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. Christian Yelich, under 1.5 hits, plus runs, plus RBIs. Love what IP Shade 45 is bringing to the show today. Great research, good questions. That's a good call. Jorge, Jorge, just throw your two celebrity shots back up on the board. George Springer was your other celebrity shot. Now I get it. So let's get Jorge's second celebrity shot of the day is going to be George Springer over half a hit. So Jorge is loaded up. Everybody, if you want your celebrity pick up on the board, just write in the comments section my celebrity pick or my celebrity shot. Everybody gets two. We don't put up fantasy plays because then I'd have to go find the sports book and do a lot of extra work. Not looking for the extra work. But everybody gets two of your favorite MLB plays, prop bets, whatever you guys want. You guys can put up two every single day up on our big board. Jorge just shared the channel. Let's give out another stolen base play today. Next stolen base play that I really like. I like Jarren Duran today. Jarren Duran of the Boston Red Sox. What a speedster. Pablo Lopez doesn't do a good job of holding runners. Jarren Duran. I'd also look for him. Can I get him on half a base or over half a hit? So Duran, not showing up. Okay, he's not showing up on Outlier just yet, so I'll give you guys another one. Every time it doesn't show up, I'll give you guys another one. Next one I'm going to go with is Corbin Carroll. Corbin Carroll. Let's throw him up on the board. Corbin Carroll. He's facing Corbin Burns, so a matchup of Corbins. To get a stolen base today, 28% implied probability, really strong. Really strong. Additionally, plus 254. That's a good bet on a stolen base. Only one stolen base over his last 10, but he does have, I believe he leads the Diamondbacks in stolen bases this year. He does against right-handed pitching. Lifetime against this pitcher, he does have poor numbers, so I'm not necessarily taking him on anything other than maybe half a hit or half a base, but I do like the stolen base. I do want to look at if I can get half a base or half a hit. Half a hit, good implied probability, good trend. I would take this one, actually. I know he doesn't have great numbers against Corbin Burns. Corbin Burns. But they've only faced each other a couple times, so I would take him here. It's a minus 200, but I would throw Corbin Carroll up there on over half a hit. In fact, can I get half a base? That actually is the safer play. Let's see if half a base is available. No, it's 1.5. It's 1.5. That's why hit's the better play. So we are going to take over half a hit. Corbin Carroll over half a hit. Okay, everybody. Zodwick. Great to see you, Zodwick. Hope you're having a great day. Nolan Gorman, not to get a hit at plus 130. Interesting. Zodwick, is that your celebrity shot of the day, or is that just a question? Let's look at Gorman, Nolan Gorman, and under half a hit. So interesting. The implied probability says it's a good play, but you're saying not to get a hit. You like the under, and he has been struggling of late, really struggling. Against Josiah Gray, here's the only issue. He's 1 for 2 lifetime. So I know he's been slumping, but it is a pitcher that he does have a hit against. I wouldn't touch it. I'm not going to put it up on my big board, but an interesting call. I like that you guys are starting to look towards the under. I know I go to the over probably a little too often, just because those are the ones I'm kind of hunting, but I'm not hating on these underplays. Let me throw some more picks up on the board. You guys have dropped a lot of confetti over the course of the show, so I want to make sure I give out some more of my picks. Get ready, because I'm about to drop all of my first inning plays. But first, I will actually go to that Diamondbacks, Brewers. I'm taking the under 8.5 runs on that one. Under 8.5 in the Diamondbacks and Brewers. Just to look at that game really quick. And Zodwick, I will throw that up on the board as your celebrity shot. Just quickly looking at the Brewers and Diamondbacks. We're looking at the under. The original line was 7.5. I took an alternative line. Under 8.5 at minus 140. I like that. By the way, I doubled down on this one. I would also take under 9. Under 9 as well. So there are a couple plays where I like it. I double down on it. If I like it under 8.5, I like it under 9. Okay, have a couple more picks I want to give out. I'm about to give out all of my first run inning plays. But first, let's put Zodwick making his first appearance on the big board. Zodwick, welcome to the show and welcome to the Celebrity Shots big board. You are going to take, remind me, you were going to take Nolan Gorman under half a hit. There you go, Zodwick. Okay, let's get back to this. Giving out my picks because we got all of that confetti early in the show. Appreciate all of you guys supporting us. And yes, Tito's Full Send. You're exactly right, Tito's Full Send. So I'll even give that one out first because Tito's Full Send was right on it. I'll just put it next to the game so we can keep track of them at the same place. I am taking Blue Jays and Marlins. Yes to a run in the first inning. Okay, next one we're going to do. The Mets game. Mets, Astros, no run in the first inning. No run in the first inning for the Mets and Astros. How about in this Rockies-Reds game? You're probably already in tune to what this is going to be. Rockies, Reds, yes to a run in the first inning. How about Diamondbacks and Brewers? Probably already guessing this one as well. Diamondbacks, Brewers, no run in the first inning. Are we having fun or what? Let's keep it going. Cardinals, Nationals, yes to a run in the first inning. Cardinals, Nationals, yes to a run in the first inning. Here's another one. Royals, Tigers. Believe it or not, even with Jordan Lyles on the mound, even with a flaming bag of poop on your porch, we are going to say no to a run in the first inning for the Royals and Tigers. No to a run in the first inning. You want another one? Here you go. Red Sox, Twins. We are taking no run in the first inning. And those are all of our game picks that we have. All of our game picks, everybody. All of our game picks are now up on the board. So if you guys wanted to know which games we like, runs in the first inning, total plays, game picks, here are all of them up on your screen right now. We have dropped all of them. And thank you guys so much for supporting the show today. Thank you so much for hitting us up with that confetti. Our live goal means so much as you guys support Butt Fumble Sports. Now we've hit 8,000 likes, so we do have another long ball long shot of the day to give out. You guys are awesome. Next one I'm going to give out, Spencer Steer. Spencer Steer of the Cincinnati Reds. Let's go look at him to hit a home run. Spencer Steer to hit a homer. 18% implied probability. You could get this at plus 450. Now, he does have a couple home runs over the last week. Austin Gomber, lifetime, 1 for 3. But I really just like the righty-lefty matchup in this one. We know if this game gets in, if it doesn't get rained out, love the opportunity to get home runs. Righty-lefty matchup. I know it's blowing out to right field. Doesn't bother me. Love the righty-lefty matchup with Spencer Steer. Taking him. Also want to take him. Curious what I can get. Can I get over half a hit? Unbelievable. Spencer Steer over half a hit. Very chalky at minus 248. Definitely the leg of a parlay. Definitely the leg of a parlay. But throwing this here as well. Spencer Steer over half a hit. Over half a hit. Can we get hits, runs, and RBIs as well? You'd expect it to be 1.5. It is. Good play here at 58%. Good trend over the last 5. Going and doubling down on Spencer Steer today. Over 1.5 hits, plus runs, plus RBIs. There you go, everybody. Tito's full send is going with Royals game under 9. Interesting. I wouldn't go with that. I mean, it's just because of Jordan Lyles. I'm a little concerned about it. Jorge, 4-man parlay, 4-leg parlay. Soler over half a hit. Check. Birdie over half a hit. Check. Arise over half a hit. Check. Springer over half a hit. Check. I like all of them. Here's the only issue, Jorge. You're pretty heavy on the Marlins in that game. 3 Marlins to get a hit. Just kind of interesting on that one. If you do feel that way, let's see what we could get Berrios. Berrios has been pitching really well. So I do like those plays. Over 5.5 hits. Look at where that is. The trend isn't there. Now, the implied probability says it is. I'm just showing you, you may not want to load up that parlay with all of those Marlins. That's a perfect example of something that you may want to box to our horse racing term. You want to take George Springer and then sprinkle in like 2 of the 3 and keep rotating. Make 3 different bets on those different, or 4 different bets on those combinations. Okay, IP Shade 45 is asking about Adam Duvall, over half a hit, 3 for 4 a lifetime against Pablo Lopez. Let's look at Adam Duvall, over half a hit. This might turn into an IP Shade 45 celebrity big board play, 57% implied probability. Adam Duvall, starting to find it. Had been a bit of hit or miss since coming back from the IL. Like that he's starting to find it in that Yankees series. Against right-handed pitching this year, he's hitting .333. As we mentioned, against Pablo Lopez, 3 for 4. I like the play. At minus 135, it's a good find by IP Shade 45. Let's throw it up on the board. Adam Duvall, over half a hit. Over half a hit. IP Shade 45, is that your other celebrity shot of the day? Let us know. Might be a good one. Okay, Tito's full send is asking about Bo Bichette over half a run. Is it no Bichette over half a run or Bo Bichette? IP Shade 45, yes it is. Okay, let's get up on the big board then. That is going to be Adam Duvall over half a hit. Love it, love it. Hope you guys are having a wonderful time watching our show. That's Bo Bichette over half a run. Bo Bichette over half a run. Let's go check out Bo Bichette, everybody. Bo Bichette over half a run. Not a good implied probability here, and has not been a good trend. I'm not going to touch this one. I'm not touching it. Against right-handed pitching this year, he does have a good .312 average. I'm just not going to touch this one. It hasn't been a good trend of late. The starting pitcher of the Marlins, don't have great data on him. 26 innings pitched, not a bad ERA for 26 innings pitched at 3.12. I just don't like it. Bo Bichette, wouldn't touch it. Tito's full send. If you think there are a lot of runs in that game, then I understand it. Okay, your bestie is asking about Alex Verdugo over half a hit. Now, this has been a really good play, and actually want to give a shout out to your bestie. Great call. Alex Verdugo is in the middle of a very quiet hitting streak. He is actually on fire of late, but because Justin Turner has been so hot, I think it's kind of pulling away the attention. But that doesn't mean the sports books aren't paying attention to it. Maybe the greater public isn't. The sports books are very aware of it because 36% on over 1.5. No. Don't touch it. Can we get 1.5 bases? Not a good play. What about hits, runs, and RBIs? 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs is the best play in this group. It has gone 4 straight games. This is the one I would take. I do like this play. He does not have an at-bat against Pablo Lopez lifetime, but against right-handed pitching this year, look at his numbers against right-handed pitching. 321, 5 home runs, 19 RBIs. I will take Alex Verdugo over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs, but it's the only Alex Verdugo play I like. Don't take 2.5 hits or 1.5 hits. That's not a good play. Alex Verdugo over 1.5 hits, plus runs, plus RBIs. By the way, I did also want to check Joey Gallo. I know he's facing James Paxton today, and you may go lefty-lefty matchup, but over half a hit. 3 out of his last 5, lifetime against James Paxton. 1 for 2. What about Max Kepler? Maybe we don't like Joey Gallo strikes out too much. What about Max Kepler? Can we get him on half a hit? He has good numbers against the starting pitcher. Yes, we can. This is a good play. I know the trend isn't there, but against James Paxton, good numbers, 2 for 3 with a home run. I'm going to take this one as well. So in that Red Sox-Twins game, Max Kepler over half a hit. Over half a hit. You can get that at minus 190, everybody. That might be a good standalone play. Okay, Jorge is asking about Waka over 5 strikeouts and Brown over 5.5. So let's get to that. Michael Waka, who's pitched so well this season. Really one of the great surprises of the MLB season. Michael Waka. Let's look at strikeouts. Over 4.5 is a good play. 3 straight games. Like that you're getting the hook in your favor, so it's not over 5, it's over 4.5. Now, the only issue is, against the San Francisco Giants, how are the numbers? A couple hitters have hit him well, Jock Peterson, J.D. Davis, but other than that, the only issue is the strikeouts aren't high. Estrada struck out once, Conforto, but other than that, the strikeout numbers are not that high. I'm a little bit hesitant. I know that the trend is there. What about on the road? See, this is a good note. On the road, the trend has not been there. I wouldn't touch this one. I wouldn't touch it. I would avoid the play. Wouldn't touch this one. I think it's a bit of a trap. I could see him getting the 4 strikeouts. That's been the stronger trend on the road. So I wouldn't touch Michael Waka over 4.5 strikeouts. By the way, really quick before we get to that Hunter Brown play, Jock Peterson. Can we get him on over half a hit? You bet. That's great. He has good numbers against Waka, good trend over the last 6. We'll jump on this one as well. Jock Peterson, over half a hit. Nice call, everybody. Good call. Good finds by everybody. Want to make sure you can see all of our picks up on the board, so just scrolling up so you can see them all right now. Hope you guys are having as much fun as I am. It's amazing. We are now 1 hour and 30 minutes into our show. It's amazing. 90 minutes into our show, and it simply flies by. You guys are the best audience. You support us. You bring great questions, great engagement, and energy. Thank you guys so much for joining us. I know it's early for some of you. Juneteenth, a very early Juneteenth for some of you on the West Coast, but really love being able to see you guys in the comment section today. Awesome. Let's get to Hunter Brown. Have a half-hour show left. Half hour of the show left. Let's get to Hunter Brown. If you want your celebrity picks up on the board, make sure you write in the comment section my celebrity pick or my celebrity shot, and we will get that up on the big board so you guys can play along with us. Okay, I'm just going to say at first blush, I hate this play. I hate this play. Jeremy Todd, no, I did not. No, I did not. So Jeremy Todd, throw that in the comment section. I don't like this play at first blush. Not a great implied probability, and he has been trending down on this one. I know the Mets are really in struggle city, but I wouldn't touch it. I just don't have any confidence in this play. Wouldn't touch this one. Again, I know the Mets are at this point a team worth fading, but at home, 2-2 in the last 4 games. I'm not touching it. I'm not touching it. In fact, I would take the under if it were higher. If I could get under 6.5, I'd probably take it, but not a good play. In fact, Jorge, both of those strikeout plays, I wouldn't touch. Okay, Jeremy Todd had another pick he wants up there. And Jeremy Todd, I love what you're doing. You're not screwing around, Jeremy Todd. You're going with a long ball, long shot of the day, and you are taking Vlad Guerrero Jr. over half a home run. Do I have that right? Make sure I have that right, Jeremy Todd, 66. Vlad Guerrero Jr. on over half a home run? Let us know. Okay, while you're doing that, let's look at James Paxton on strikeouts. James Paxton facing a Twins team that strikes out a ton. That's why this total is set at 6.5. Very consistent over his last 3 starts. Really coming on strong of late against the Minnesota Twins lifetime. A couple of hitters have some strikeouts against him. So that's not bad. How about on the road? 1 for 3. Did hit it last game, but not a great trend. I also don't like this where the line is set at. I wouldn't take this one. 6.5 feels high to me. 6.5 feels a little high. Wouldn't touch it. I know the Twins strike out more than any other team in baseball, but just not enough of a good trend here for me to take it, so I'm not going to touch it. I'm not going to put it up on my big board. Jeremy Todd, 66, is saying Vlad Guerrero on a home run. He's saying he's due. Not something you'll hear me say too often. I'm usually not one to say a player is due, and that's why you should take him. We like the trends to work in our favor, but Vlad Guerrero Jr. has not hit a home run in a while, so Jeremy Todd, 66, going with Vladdy Guerrero Jr. to hit a home run. Your 2 picks are locked in. If any of you guys want your celebrity picks on the big board, get them in the comment section. If you're watching on YouTube, TikTok Live, Twitch, or Kick, we are here for another 25 minutes or so, so make sure you throw in that comment section my celebrity shot or my celebrity pick. I have another stolen base play to give out. Ferro Estrada. Let's look at Estrada. Ferro Estrada, stolen base. Implied probability is 17%. You can get it at plus 500. And by the way, guys, in case you're curious, for these stolen base plays and these long ball, long shots of the day, these are picks I would probably only put half a unit down on it. Because you're getting them at plus 300, plus 500, plus 400, put a half unit down. If your unit is $10, put $5 down on it. Don't put a full unit down chasing these. We usually hit about 2 out of our 6. So be mindful. I'm not saying that these are a high hit rate. These are like a 300 batting average, a 250 batting average, 400 at its highest. So just be mindful. Putting half a unit down gets you a decent return, but you don't need to over chase here. But I do like Estrada. And yes, I'm putting some accent on that because I like it. Estrada. Do like that. Stolen bases, 3 out of his last 4. And Waka does allow stolen bases. So I actually think this is a much better play than the implied probability suggests. I really like this one. Really like it. By the way, Jorge, thank you for sharing the channel. Sharing. Every time we get a share, we add a player we think is going to get a stolen base. The next one is going to be Tim Anderson. Tim Anderson. Let me show you what the odds are for Tim Anderson to get a stolen base. Shouldn't have done that. I didn't mean Tim Anderson. That was a mistake. Wrong player. Didn't mean to do that. I meant to put in Jonathan India. I was looking at the wrong notes. Forgive me. Jonathan India. have to admit, I'm having a bit of a Jordan Lyles show today. If I have to call myself out, I have not been my sharpest self. I have had some misses. I have had some verbal miscues. I acknowledge my own mistakes. I understand this was not a perfect game today. Had a few screw-ups. So anyway, Jonathan India, no stolen bases in his last 10, but I do like him to get on base. I mentioned this earlier. And against Austin Gomber, gives up a lot of stolen bases. Jonathan India, I know we already put Eli De La Cruz up here, but the Reds are a team that steals a lot of bases. Gomber gives up bases. At plus 750 is really why I liked it. India is in the top 3 in stolen bases for the team. And I think he's second when it comes to stolen bases against left-handed pitching. At plus 750, half a unit down, I'd absolutely take it. Can you check Walker under 1.5 walks? IP shade 45. Interesting. So what did we put up on our board earlier? When it came to walks, no Michael Walker. Let's see if Michael Walker is actually good on the under walks. Michael Walker, walks allowed. Interesting, the under is the much stronger trend here. The under's a really strong trend. Now, I do want to just see how the Giants have done against him. By the way, he's pitched pretty well against them. Against, obviously, Peterson, J.D. Davis are the exceptions. But I will go to Fangraphs. And I will also look up Michael Walker on the road. So this is, just to get it right, this is looking at the Giants at home against right-handed pitching. Giants at home against right-handed pitching. How are they on walks? The Giants are the 21st team when it comes to walks at home against right-handed pitching. I think this is a good play. IP shade 45. I'm going to throw this one up on my board. I think this is a good one. Good find. Michael Walker, under 1.5 walks allowed. Now, here's my question. Is there an alternative line? Probably not, right? Like, no way, right? Let's just see. Nope, no alternative line. But I like it. I like what IP Shade Porta is putting out there. Alexander says a last-minute pitching change for the Giants. Alex Cobb is going to start. Very interesting. Alex Cobb is starting for the Giants, is what we're now hearing. So it says Ryan Walker on covers. Alexander, where are you seeing that? Where are you seeing Alex Cobb is going to start? Because Alex Cobb, first of all, Alexander, it's a great call if it is true. Alex Cobb is a terrible pitcher at holding runners. Not good at holding runners. So I would love a number of Padres to get stolen bases if that's true. By the way, Padre hitters against him, good numbers. Matt Carpenter, good numbers. Nelson Cruz, good numbers. Jake Cronenworth, good numbers. Manny Machado, not so much. And we did have Manny Machado up here earlier. I'm taking him off the board. Taking Manny Machado off the board as we hear Alex Cobb. Sounds like Alex Cobb could be the starting pitcher today. Still waiting for some confirmation on this. Just looking it up. Alex Cobb, is he the starting pitcher today or not? Just checking on it. So looking at the Giants. Can we get any confirmation? By the way, no. Alex Cobb is going on the IL. I'm not seeing Alex Cobb starting today. I'm seeing that he's hurt. Alex Cobb is not pitching today. Alexander, you got us a bit, no, he's out. He is out. No Alex Cobb today. So by the way, back up on the board you go, Manny Machado. No Alex Cobb, we still like you. Manny Machado. Alexander, when was that? I'm going to the game tonight. Yeah, Ryan Walker is the starting pitcher that I'm seeing. I'm seeing Alex Cobb. Gabe Kapler says because of an oblique strain, Alex Cobb will be out for the next 2 weeks. He is eligible to come back against the Mets in 2 weeks. There you go. Okay, Doghouse Breaks. You're asking about the Nationals to cover. Let's look at it. About 20 minutes left of our show, everybody. 15 minutes left of our show. So make sure you're getting those celebrity shots up on the big board. Let us know if you have any picks. Taking the Washington Nationals to cover the 1.5. Hasn't been a great trend of late. Has been if you like the cover against the Cardinals. The Cardinals have been failing to cover. But for me, I don't like it. I'm not going to touch it. Wouldn't put it up on my big board. Can we get an alternative line of plus 2.5? That's what we like. Nationals, plus 2.5 at minus 190. That's a good play, everybody. That's a good play. Going to put it next to the game itself. So I will take the Nationals, plus 2.5. That I like. At minus 190, that's a safe play. Nationals have been covering that. Cardinals have not. That's a much better play, everybody. Plus 2.5 on the Nats. So Doghouse Breaks, that's what I would encourage. Big shout out to all those who are watching, no matter the platform. So grateful that your guys are with us every single day. Butt Fumble Sports is live every single day, and we will be for this week. Thanks to our friend Yoni, who has allowed us to use his studio while I have some family in town. So thank you guys for joining us today, and we are live every single day for 2 hours. You never need to worry about it. What's long ball hitters today? Let's see. Who are some of the long balls that we like? Goldschmidt, Diaz, Reynolds, Steer. Let's get another one up on the big board, everybody. Another player we like to hit a home run today. I'm going to go with Brett Beatty. Brett Beatty to hit a home run. I also thought Francisco Lindor, but I like Brett Beatty a little bit more. Brett Beatty to hit a home run. Again, not a good implied probability on this. And by the way, the reason these long ball long shots of the day are where they are is simply because I do not think we have that many long ball long shots that are really great today. So I am taking a bit of a chance on Brett Beatty against a right-handed pitcher. So I am taking Brett Beatty. Not great numbers. This is a risky play. Not encouraging you guys to follow on this one, that's for sure. But I'm calling my shot like I do every day, and I'm putting Brett Beatty out on the board. By the way, Jeremy Todd 66, I did think about Lindor last night. I just don't think he's going to go back-to-back. Look up Vlad Guerrero Jr. Okay. Vlad Guerrero Jr. to get a home run. 17% implied probability. You're right, he has been slumping of late. And no numbers against the starting pitcher. Against right-handed pitchers, he does have 9 home runs. That's the one positive. Again, here are all my picks up on the big board. I'm going to scroll through these slowly so you can see all of them. Got them zoomed in so you can see all of them. IP Shade 45, I'll get to your question in 1 second. But here are all the picks that Butt Fumble Sports is giving out today. Again, if it has a bullet point next to it, it means a pick I had loaded up prior to the show, research I had done prior to the show and had it ready to go. If there's an asterisk next to it, it means we were doing our show, and while we were doing our research, we found a good play. There are no WNBA games today. Kind of surprised by that. You would think maybe on Juneteenth, the WNBA, which is so smart about how it uses messaging and PR, would have taken advantage of the day. Also, because there aren't that many sports on, but that said, no WNBA today. We have 5 long ball long shots of the day up here so far. Some stealing is sharing, stolen base picks of the day, and your celebrity shot picks. If you want your celebrity pick up on the board, make sure you throw it in the comments section. We're running out of time, everybody. Okay, Carlos Correa. Let's look at Carlos Correa. Carlos Correa, just looking for a hit. Over half a hit's a great play. Missed 2 out of the 3 games against the Tigers, or 4 games against the Tigers, no problem here. Against James Paxton, as IP Shade 45 alluded to, really good numbers. I like this one. Good call, good find by IP Shade 45. Throwing this one up on our board. Again, half a hit, really easy hit. So we'll throw it up here. That is Carlos Correa, over half a hit. Good call, IP Shade 45. Really bringing the research today. Jeremy, we okay? Did Atlanta Dream win yesterday? Alexander, you guessed. Cash, cash, cash. Good job, Alexander. Good job. Doghouse breaks over 10 runs in that Reds game. Yes. Yes. Now, I took it at 9.5 and 8.5, but yes, I do like it. The only reason I'm not taking it at the 10 is I want the hook in my favor. I don't want the push. Because if you're taking it at 10, you're really saying they have to score 11. So that hook's working in my favor at 9.5. Appreciate all of those who are with us. We only have about 10 minutes left of our show, everybody. So get in those celebrity picks. If you have a favorite play, get it in. Doghouse breaks too. I was thinking about Rafi Devers today as a long ball, long shot of the day as well. I was thinking about taking him. I will admit, he wasn't someone I was kind of on the fence about. I really want to take him. 20% implied probability. Couple home runs. Against Pablo Lopez, no numbers. I would throw it up on the big board. I will put an asterisk next to it just to allude to I didn't have it completely locked in prior to the show. But Rafi Devers probably is the Red Sox I like the most to hit a home run today. You can get that at plus 360. Dante, Carlos Correa. Yeah, that is an interesting play. By the way, just looking at who's got celebrity picks up on the board. Top Dog has one. Top Dog, if you want a second one up there, let us know. Dante has his two. Jeremy Todd 66 has two. Jorge's got two. Christopher, Tito's Full Send, and Stephen Pock and Zodwick all have one. And IP Shade 45 has two. If you guys want your celebrity pick on the board, just write in the comment section my celebrity shot or my celebrity pick, and we'll throw it up on the big board. Do you not like Andrew McCutchen to hit a home run today? Okay, McCutchen, I did think about taking him on a home run. He's actually in my notes, but his numbers against Drew Smyly, the good numbers are really earlier in his career. So from 2018 on, he hasn't hit him as well. That's why I don't like him. If you look at Andrew McCutchen in the last few years, the stats aren't as good. IP Shade 45. Alexander, Vlad Guerrero, IP Shade, Alexander, is that the other? Do you want that pickup on the board? Alexander, is that your celebrity pick of the day? Let's look at Max Scherzer on strikeouts really quick while we find out if Alexander is making that his celebrity pick of the day. Max Scherzer. So looking at strikeouts, over 5.5 has a strong implied probability. Had been a good trend until that Yankees game, until it got roughed up. Against the Astros, the numbers lifetime, not good. And there's strikeouts there. I like this one. I might take this one as well. Can I get it at 4.5? Can I get it at 4.5? No, I can't. 5.5 might be a touch high for me. Not going to put it up on my big board now that I think about it, but I lean towards the over on it. I do lean towards the over. So Alexander is going to take Vlad Guerrero Jr. over half an RBI. Interesting. Let's see what it's going off at. Vlad Guerrero Jr. over half an RBI. 66% on the under. So interesting, but that's what Alexander wants. That's what Alexander gets. Alexander with one N. Alexander is taking Vlad Guerrero Jr. over half an RBI. There you go. Alexander up on the big board. Hope you all are having a wonderful day. Throw your comments and questions in the chat. Only a few more minutes left, everybody. Get them in now. Final few minutes of the show, everybody. Of course, Santa, red fire truck is right. Santa, that is what I want for Christmas, is the red fire truck with the ladder that goes up. If it doesn't have the ladder, I don't want it. Red fire truck, but it needs the ladder. Appreciate you being in here, Santa. Great to see you. Say hi to Mrs. Claus for me. Tell her I'll be over later tonight. Okay, Doghouse breaks 2. Over 4.5. First 5 Marlins game. So I'm not as big on that one. I'm not big on that one. I don't like, you were asking about the Marlins game, run in the first inning. I do like a run in the first inning, but I'm a little hesitant. That seems a little high. 4.5 in the first 5. I'm a little hesitant on that one, Doghouse breaks. I do like a run being scored in the first inning. Feels a little high. Tito's Full Send likes it, though. Bing bong from Tito's Full Send. Alexander takes Scherzer under 5.5. Interesting. Alexander, do you want that up on the big board as well? Every time you're putting those money bags, I'm always curious if it's your celebrity shot. Let us know, Alexander, if you want that to be your second celebrity shot of the day. Final few minutes of the show, everybody. Get your celebrity shots in. He wants that one as well. So Max Scherzer under 5.5 strikeouts. Alexander. Max Scherzer under 5.5 strikeouts. It's up on the board, everybody. If you want to join Alexander, Zodwick, IP Shade 45, Stephen Pock, Tito's Full Send, Christopher, Jorge, Jeremy Todd 66, Dante, and Top Dog up on our Celebrity Shots of the Day big board. Get those picks in now, everybody. Get those picks in now. Can you check Carlos Santana over half a hit and single? Yes, we can. Carlos Santana. Carlos Santana over half a base. Can we get that? It's 1.5. Don't like that. How about half a hit? Half a hit. Half a hit, 65% implied probability. Good trend. And as IP Shade 45 has been alluding to, good numbers lifetime against Drew Smiley. So yes, IP Shade 45, I would throw up over half a hit for Carlos Santana. I'm not as big on the half a single though. Carlos Santana over half a hit. Let's look at what half a single is. I'm not as high on this one. Not as big on it. Over half a single. 57% implied probability on the under. Not as high on it. I know it's the same rate he's been going off at, but I like the over half a hit. I don't want to get boxed into that single. By the way, if you have missed any part of our show today, don't worry. No troubles, bubbles. Our entire show gets posted up on YouTube every single day. So you can go over to our YouTube channel, Butt Fumble Sports. You can watch the entire show, every pick, all of our research, all of my stupid jokes, all up on YouTube. So you can check that out, Butt Fumble Sports on YouTube. Of course, I will also post all of our picks to our website, buttfumblesports.com. So if you want to get all of our picks, just go to our website, buttfumblesports.com. It's right there up on your URL, right there on your screen. buttfumblesports.com. Every pick will be posted there so you can check them out at your own leisure. Santa is throwing up a celebrity shot. Santa. Oops. So Santa, celebrity shot, is going to be Joey Gallo. Santa is taking Joey Gallo. And you're taking Joey Gallo at over 1.5 bases. Over 1.5 bases. Interesting play from Santa. And the next question that we had was Brian De La Cruz. Oh, I was about to say half. I was about to be like over 1.5. I'm like, that's too high, Santa. But I didn't want to say anything because who am I to correct Santa? Okay, Joey Gallo over half a base. Like it, Santa. Now let's look at De La Cruz. Brian De La Cruz. Brian De La Cruz. And you're asking about, let's look at hits. You're asking about hits, runs, and RBIs. My bad. Hits, runs, and RBIs. The over does have a stronger trend here, but not has a better implied probability, but not a good trend. Not a good trend. Over the last 10, 3 out of the last 10. And against Burrios, stats against him, no numbers to speak of. So I wouldn't touch this one. Jeremy Todd, 66, I wouldn't touch it. Tito's Full Send likes it, but I don't like it. I like Ellie De La Cruz. I like Ellie De La Cruz of the Reds, as I put up earlier in the show. But Brian De La Cruz, No, don't like him. Don't like him. Do I like the Reds today? Yes, I do. I would also take the Reds on the money line. I would take the Reds on the money line today. Austin Gomber is starting. He has been just awful for the Colorado Rockies, so I would take him. One last one as well. Detroit Tigers. They're facing Jordan Lyles. Jordan Lyles is 0-11. I'm not saying I like the Tigers. I'm saying I hate Jordan Lyles. I think Jordan Lyles is a flaming bag of dog poop. So with that said, I'm not crazy about it. It probably is at the confidence level that just barely meets the threshold to make my big board. But yes, I would take Tigers on the money line. I would take it. Really, that's just me fading Jordan Lyles. It's just me saying Jordan Lyles sucks. Yeah, Jeremy Todd. Ellie De La Cruz is a great play. Brian De La Cruz, not as confident in him today. Okay, everybody, final few minutes of the show. Appreciate all those who are joining us. Who's going to win that Twins game? Don't have a good feeling on it. James Paxton against Pablo Lopez. Don't have a good feeling on it. IP Shade 45, I'm totally with you. I'm surprised he hasn't been DFA'd, designated for assignment. He has been awful. It kind of tells you where the Royals are, that they're continuing to let him on the mound. Like 0-11. Think about what it takes to be a professional athlete and go 0-11 for anything. Shooting the ball, wins and losses, like anything. 0-11, that is just garbage. Like if a goalie were 0-11 for saves, he'd be fired. How is this dude still on the mound? Unbelievable. So for me, I'm just fading him, and he's got to prove me wrong. He's got to prove me wrong. So, okay, we have come to almost the end of our show, everybody. One last time, I will go through all of our picks. We're going to zoom in, everybody. So here are all of our picks. I'm going to scroll through these really slowly. Go get cologne. I'm assuming that's Bartolo cologne, so yeah. Here are all of our picks up on your screen right now. We will also post these to our website, buttfumblesports.com. You can check them all out there. I'm going to post these right now. The first game doesn't go off for a couple of hours. So yes, we're a little early with our show today, but plenty of time to get these picks in. Absolutely no rush. So here are all of our long ball long shots of the day, our stealing and sharing plays of the day, and your celebrity shots of the day. All of the picks have just been shown. If you want to find them now, go to our website, buttfumblesports.com. I am going to post those in about a minute or two once we get off the air. That said, let's get some wins. That's right, Tito's Full Send. Let's get some W's today. Big shout out to all of those who supported the show. IP Shade 45, Drew 7382, Macy Toru, Yoni, also known as YW21, Tuan An Nguyen. Thank you so much. Appreciate all those who watched and shared comments. Tito's Full Send, Jeremy Todd 66, IP Shade 45, Alexander, Santa, great to see you. Doghouse Breaks 2. Boss Lady Murr, great to see you today. Tyler, Jorge's been bringing it since the start of the show. Your bestie, you're our bestie. Hope you guys had a great time watching our show today. Stephen Pock, great seeing you today. Wonderful to have you in the show. Christopher, great to have you as a part of the show now. Wonderful to have all of these familiar faces join our show every single day. And to all those who are watching on YouTube, Twitch, and Kick, Dante, Top Dog, James, Ryan, Haley, Kira, Jeff, Mark, Beth, all of you. Zoidstein, great to see you. Farika, Caesar, wonderful to know we have such a loyal, passionate audience. It means the world to us. Everybody, we will be back. We will be back tomorrow at 1 p.m. tomorrow. 1 p.m. on Tuesday, June 20th. That's Butt Fumble Sports daily live show is back at 1 p.m. EST on Tuesday, June 20th. Make sure you guys are with us. We will be back tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern Time for tomorrow's show. Loaded show for tomorrow. Cannot wait to do it again. As I say at the end of every show, I hope you guys stay healthy. I hope you stay safe. I hope you have a wonderful day today. I hope you guys are celebrating the day appropriately and acknowledging what it's about. I hope you guys enjoy the afternoon and the evening, cash a ton of tickets off of the research and info we just gave out. And of course, cannot wait to see you tomorrow. Have a great night, everybody. And we'll do it all again tomorrow.